Hello, welcome back to Uncle Matt's Workbench. Today is May the 4th, and I like to try and put out a video dedicated to Star Wars on May the 4th. I don't really have anything too special today, but I wanted to show that I have rebuilt my cantina diorama, and it's still a work in progress. I've still got painting to do, but the reason that I rebuilt it was, since I got a 3D printer, I found the files on CG Trader by an artist who goes by Charvies 3D, I think, and he had this bar and distillery that looked way better than what I had built myself, and I just had to download that and print it for my cantina. The problem was, one thing I did wrong with my original diorama was the 3 archways back there. I made them all 3 the same size, when actually the left and right ones should be smaller than the middle one. And so my bar was not the right size. It was too narrow, and when I put this bar in that diorama, it didn't line up, didn't fit. So I just redid the whole thing, and I like it. But so something I did different was I made the alcoves a little bit bigger because I couldn't really sit them at the seats around the table and have room for their feet. So I couldn't sit a figure directly across from the table. I had to put them to the sides. So other than this diorama, I just thought I'd show you some recent pickups of mine that I haven't shown on camera before. I'm always out hunting for vintage collection figures, and I believe I found him at Target. My light's not on. Can I turn my light on here? There we go. So I got the Din Djarin in the Merrick Trooper disguise. I don't really care for this figure particularly, but I picked him up just for his head. I just wanted to have his head so that I could put him on a regular Mando body, to have Mando without his helmet. I probably will never make a scene with this figure, but I will with the head. Let's set him aside. Pull out the next one. So my town finally got an Ollie's. You see, that's an Ollie's price tag, $5. I actually picked up 2 of these so I could customize one. One of them's already open, and he's set up with my Jawas and a sandcrawler. Yeah, I was really excited about getting an Ollie's because I'm always seeing people post finds, Star Wars finds at Ollie's, and I miss out on all of those because there's none in the area. But now there is. And here's a Figuring Dan figure. I actually picked up 3 of these at Target without knowing that there was going to be a 7-pack. I'm sure that's happened to a lot of people. But this is an extra one. I'm probably never going to run into that 7-pack, so I'm not even going to worry about it. I already bought 3 of these guys. I've got a 4th one here now, and the reason I bought the 4th one is because I 3D printed this instrument. I don't know what you call it, but that's an instrument that does not come in this pack. It does come in the 7-pack. And I also 3D printed, I don't know what this equipment is. I don't know if it's their road cases or if it's their amplifiers or what, but I 3D printed those. They're not done. There's a bunch of parts that have to go in those holes in the top. I'm struggling with making them fit in the holes at the moment. That's why it's not finished. I'll probably pick up 1 more of these and just keep my band a 5-piece. So let's see, what else have we got here. I picked up this little scrubber droid at the last Toy Man show I went to, and I weathered him up really good. so he doesn't look brand new. I wanted him to look old and battered so he can fit in with my Jawas and droids. And then here's a piece I printed. This is R1G4 from A New Hope, The Selling of the Droids. He has some head articulation. My paint job here isn't all that impressive. The head actually just comes right off. But I found that for free on Thingiverse. I'm sorry, but I can't remember the name of the artist, but if you search on Thingiverse R1G4, you'll find that pretty easily. I didn't really have a lot of problems printing this guy, except for this antenna on the top. I just couldn't get that to print properly. So the square base part with the hole in it is printed, but the antenna sticking out of it is not printed. That's just a piece of filament. It just wouldn't print properly for me. And I had 3 attempts at that, and each one of them looked crappy and broke off. So, but underneath it was a hole that was like the perfect size for a piece of filament. So I just stuck filament in there. Okay, what else have I got to show? So I went to a yard sale just last weekend, the first one of the year, and I found these two. I've had my eye out for both of these for a long time, just haven't found them or haven't found them at the right price. I found both of these guys carded. Of course, I opened them. And I found them for a very, very fair price, and the guy was really cool. He had a garage full of new in box and mint on card vintage collection items, and of everything he had, these, other than a Razor Crest I can't afford, these were the only 2 figures he had that I needed. Let's just start populating this with these figures I'm showing. What else? So these are my 3 band members that I've already talked about. I picked up all 3 of these guys at once at Target, and I thought, wow, look how lucky I am, and grabbed all 3 of them that they had. And then I learned later about the 7-pack and felt so stupid. I'm going to put these guys in the alcove with the band here, where they belong. Oh, they're not going to stand up. Yeah, just fall over all over the place. Yeah, and of course there's the carbonite block that came with Han. Let's pretend he's a decoration over here. Or not. You just throw him there. So here we have a couple of Ewoks. Trying to build up an army of modern Ewoks. I found both of these guys at Toyman at different times, actually, though, not at the same time. And I know both of them came with sets that I don't have the pieces of, but I consider myself lucky to find these guys as I did. This one here was just given to me as a gift from a vendor that I do a lot of business with. I've given him gifts as well. This was the most recent one I got from him. This one was in a bin. They had 2 bins on the table that were marked vintage figures in one for $8 each, and modern figures in the other for $4 each. And I couldn't believe I found that Ewok for $4, because that's unheard of. Modern Ewoks for $4. That's incredibly lucky. Any Ewok for $4 for that matter, really. Let's see what else we got here. Some recent vintage collection pickups. So Luke was picked up at the Toyman show. And I think the Raider I picked up, I believe I found him at Walmart. and he was the only figure on the pegs at the time, and it was one I didn't have, so of course I grabbed it. I've wanted that Luke for a long time, but never found him in stores. Randomly came across him at the Toy Man show, and I got him as well as a couple other vintage collection figures. What else we got here? I forget her name. I know she's from, I believe she's from the Phantom Menace. From the Boonta Eve festivities, I think. Found her at Toy Man. She was one of those modern figures in the bin for $4. She has articulated knees, so she's just going to sit down right here. And what else have we got to show off? Another Toy Man find. I wasn't sure if I wanted this Luke or not, so I do need a black cloaked Luke for Jabba's palace, and I need the one without the tunic for the final duel. And this version of Luke, the Mandalorian one, doesn't really fit either of those. He's not accurate to those scenes. But, I mean, the price was reasonable, and he's cool. He's a really cool figure, so I grabbed him. And then I bought a bin full of toys from Goodwill a while back. I think I paid $10 for the bin. It was a huge plastic bin, and there was an R2 unit that I can't find right now. That was right on the top. So I thought, if there's one Star Wars figure in that bin, there's bound to be more. So I bought the bin and I brought it home and I sorted through it, and I actually found 4 Star Wars figures and 2 weapons. And of all the figures in there, this was the coolest because, you know, this is got modern articulation, nice detail. It's also a version of Han that I didn't have, and I couldn't believe that the accessory was there with them in a kid's toy box. No gun though, but I'm sure I have multiples of that weapon. And what I did with the rest of those toys was I sorted the whole thing out. I gave all the monster trucks and race cars to my cousin's kid, who's obsessed with that stuff. And I sorted out all the superheroes and gave to my nephew's kids. Now here's a couple of Cantina patrons that I've been missing for a long time. I got both of these guys at Toy Man. And I believe they should both be sitting together, or no, not really together, but they should both be in one of these alcoves. Let's put him in there. He doesn't really sit down very well, but Mio or Mayo, however you say it, whatever his name is. And let's see, here's a custom that I made that I haven't done a video for. Regesk. So he's actually a pretty easy custom. I used a meerkat PVC figurine, cut the head off of it, drilled a hole in it. The body is Ray Island Journey. I figured I don't think that the story for this character makes him or her a female. I think he's supposed to be a male, but the actress in the costume was female, so I used a female body. And the hands came from Aura Singh, which were left over from my Tonica sisters. Let's just sit him over here. Him or her, whatever he or she is. Sit him over there. And we have a couple of flea market finds. Momo Nadon and I don't know how to say his name, but Click Clack, something like that. I don't know. But Both of these figures have eluded me for a long time. I finally found them both at a flea market and a toy bin and got them both for $1 a piece, which is pretty awesome. And that's all that I have for today. Happy May the 4th. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.